Hey guys, it's Lisa. So I've been living in LA for a year and I wanted to share, what's really good, what I've learned, how I've grown, what this year has taught me. So I just wanted to share all of that. So I guess the first real thing to explain is that not only was this my first year living in California, living in Los Angeles, but it was my first year really being an adult. Like I graduated from college and then a little over a month later moved here. So it's been my first time having to pay bills, my first time paying rent, my first time paying renter's insurance, which I actually didn't know was a thing until now. My first time paying utilities, electricity. First of all, paying your first electricity bill, it really makes you have a new appreciation for your parents to turn off the lights in the room you're not using. Do this, do that. Literally, my appreciation for people who pay bills is so much higher now. Because it's hard out here. And then I got my first car this year. So I got my first car in August 2018, and then it was totaled in November 2018. So it's weird to be smiling and saying that, but I grew a lot from it, so it was dope. But that was my first time having to pay car insurance and make sure everything was paid on time and paying the car bill. I actually didn't understand how buying a car worked until it happened. So through all this, I've just grown up a lot. So my first few months here, I think the key to my growth and the key to how I've gotten through this year has been the community I built around me. Because when I first got here, I joined the church I had been going to over my summer when I came here. So I joined a church. And that's really where I've met all the people who have really lifted me up through this year. And even bigger than that, my relationship with God has grown so much, which is that's the most important thing I've learned this year is the importance of a relationship with God. And I'm still getting closer and closer to him every day, which is fantastic and great. And working on understanding everything that's happened to me this year. And why it happened and why it needed to happen the way that it did. And that's truly been the coolest thing about this year. It's just really deepening my relationship with God. Because when you live at home, you can depend on your parents, you can depend on your family, you can depend on your friends and stuff. But when you're an adult, there are some times where it's on you, sis. Bro, you got this. It's literally all up to you. And sometimes, truthfully, you either not know what to do, be lost, be hopeless, be whatever. And there's nobody around you who can really help you, even though, you have a wonderful support system regardless. There's no one around you who can really support you besides God. So I think that was really, truly what happened to me this year. A lot of things got taken away from me in order for me to know that, you can only truly depend on God, and that God needs to be your one, your first, over everything in order for you to truly succeed. Because, for example, when the car got totaled, or not even before that, when I had to get the car, my mom had, thank God, my parents were in town, my family was in town, actually, my whole family basically was in town, and my mom went with me to get the car, and literally, they were do you want to buy it? Do you want to lease it? What color do you want? What car do you want? How do you want this? How do you want that? Which model do you want? Which year do you want? LX, EX? What? There's so many choices. Shoot, what if I make the wrong decision? So that was one of the earlier times where I was God, my earlier times being here. Not in my whole life, but being here. When I was God, if you don't make this decision for me, I don't know what's going to happen. So what we doing? I had to pray about it and really think about it, because literally, that was one of the prime decisions that was, only up to me. My apartment, that was me and my roommate. Everything else up until then had been, me and somebody else. But, this is the first thing that was, really just me. And then when I got in the accident, thank God I was by myself, because the side of the car, the airbags deployed, and probably someone who was in the car with me would have gotten hurt. But, so I was by myself when I got in the car accident. That was its own level of drama, and I'll make a whole separate video about that, but that was a really tough situation to go through by myself. Of course, I had my parents on the phone, insurance people on the phone, a bunch of different people on the phone, But it was still like, in that moment, I was standing there by myself, and all I could do is like, God, get me through this. God, give me the knowledge I need. Because I had never been in a car accident that involved another person. This is my second accident ever. I hit something that was parked. It was stupid. Whatever. But this is my first accident in which both cars were moving. There are two people involved. The car I hit was actually a the car that hit me was actually a taxi. So there was that. So that was a whole nother level of stuff to deal with, and still stuff to deal with now. Anyways, like I said, there'll be I can do a separate video about that because I don't want to dwell on that too much. But like, I had to fully depend on God in that. Even getting through that, I still had to depend on God because it was like, you have to call the insurance people. They want to know your story. Do your stories line up? Like, all this stuff. And then there was a period of time before, like, I knew that the car was totaled, that it was just like, okay, I'm going to get my car back. I'm going to get my car back. And I was praying, and God told me, he was like, you're going to get a car. And I was like, I mean, okay, I already have a car, but okay, sounds good. I'll get a new car. And then the next day I found out that my car had been totaled. And because I had the peace of knowing that, like, my car, that, like, I was going to get another one, like, God had already told me, it was like, all right, the car's totaled. That's fine. What's next? Like, and just dealing with all of that. And though that was a really hard situation to get through it, like, I keep saying God, but it's just like, truthfully, it was nothing but God that got me through this year. And one other thing that really was important to me this year was working on myself. So the way I responded to every situation that's happened to me, even ones that I haven't mentioned, because like they're really personal and not always all about me and they involve other people, but everything that's happened this year, like relationships I've built, relationships I had to let go of, like everything was just very much like, Lisa, what do you want? Like, who are you? And like, that was something I didn't really have I don't think I had the thought process to really explore until moving here. Because like I said, I was at home, or I was like, you know, surrounded by family or surrounded by friends who, like, you know, I'd known for a minute. Like, there was no need to really explore me because I thought I knew me. But moving here really exposed to me that, like, there's so much more I need to learn about myself. And a book that really I started reading my first few months here was Wholeness by Touré Roberts. It's so good. It really set me on the path to, like, knowing myself and really responding to things better. And like, I think I'm a much nicer, not even nicer because I've never been mean, but a much more well-developed person because I've been working on myself and taking care of myself and loving myself. Because it's like, you don't, like, you're just slow, I'm a more compassionate person, definitely. I'm a more considerate person. And I don't know, and there's still things I need to do in terms of taking care of myself better, loving myself more. And it's just like every day I kind of discover a new thing about myself that I'm like, this is the way you are, but sis, that's okay. Like, that's the way God made you, and that's dope. So we're gonna rock out with it. Like, and it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing. And there are also things I want to do better at, and things I want to develop for myself. And I'm like, truthfully, working on myself this year has been the best thing. And like, my professional goals and like networking and things like that have been going great here. Like, truthfully, this has been such a developmental year, living in LA. And I feel like LA is a place where either you're gonna grow and it's gonna be great, or you're gonna come here and realize this ain't it. I don't want to be here, like, and you want to leave. So I'm just so blessed and so thankful that it has been as beautiful and just, I want to say trying, but in a good way. Like, I've grown so much from the trials I've had to face. And I really didn't think about that until sitting down to make this video. Like, truthfully, this has been a great year. Like, with its ups and its downs, it's been a fantastic, like, year living here. And I'm so thankful and grateful for it. So if I had to, wrap up everything that I just said, because I said a lot, I would say that this year in LA has taught me the importance of a relationship with God and building it up and really focusing on it and really, like, just really diving into that thing, you know? And I'm still learning more, I'm still growing more, I'm still growing closer to God, and it's fantastic. Second has been the building a community. Like I said, I build a community mostly through my church and like meeting people at work and like, you know, things like that have been really dope. Like it's just been really nice to like kind of have to start over, like having no choice but to start over has been kind of interesting and really cool to meet new people and also build up some relationships with people who have also moved here who I knew before. So that has been dope to like not be alone in this. And taking care of yourself has been another that's probably been the biggest thing for me this year. And it's definitely a focus for me for my next year. It's like just continuing to take care of myself, continue to love myself. And trusting the process. And I know people say that all the time, but just trusting God and trusting that like everything is working for your good. That's been probably the last thing that I want to talk about. But I've learned so much this year. I could go on for 20 minutes probably, but nobody needs that. So I'm gonna cut it off here and just say that it's been a great year. And I just challenge us all to really think about how we've grown. Because once you think about that, you can, one, be proud of yourself. Two, just be so thankful of how far you've come. So yeah, just take some time and really reflect on your life. Like I just journaled before this video to really prep myself, and it was great. And I'm just feeling really happy and thankful and blessed for everything. So I appreciate you guys watching. I hope you got something from this video. I really appreciate it. And yeah, happy 1 year anniversary to me. Yay! Bye!